sir. I think we're live now. Okay. All right. Although it says the Big Dog Chico Show, you are now tuned in. Dog. Dave. I think if there was some feedback, that's me or that's you, Dave. Make sure you turn it. All right.
I'm muted. I'm sorry.
Okay. Shouts out to everybody out there tuning in, wherever you're tuning in from. Y'all already know we in the comment section. Let us know where you're checking in. See here. Oh yeah, we're live on Twitch also. That might be the feedback I was hearing, but we're live on Twitch, live on Facebook, live on Twitter, both YouTube pages, Dog page and my page, should I say, and Dave's page, David Talks Buff. Check them out when you get a chance. Let everybody know how you doing, Dave. What you got going on, man? How you been this week?
Man, I'm doing great. I was pretty sick over the weekend, so feeling better and excited that I got a lot to talk about today. A lot of interesting stuff, a lot of news happening over the weekend. But yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I'm happy that we got a lot to discuss. How are you doing, Big Dog?
Yeah, man, a lot of things going on in the news. I'm good. Had a good week, good weekend, and everything. And you know, had to get over the loss. You know, other than that,
You start your post game early too?
Yeah, no. Actually, I went ahead and went through with the whole game and then started my post game. It didn't last long because it wasn't much to talk about, in my opinion, in the post game. But
yeah,
other than that, man, tough weekend to get over that loss. But I think it's going to be something we can just look past. Go ahead and get on to this week. But with this week brought on a bunch of news out there right now, whether it's recruiting, whether it's players coming out saying, expressing their feelings, whether it's news stations or media companies taking it and running with it, making it something else, adding in names that wasn't even included in the post. So I think we can discuss some things like that. We're going to get to the comments also. Y'all got something to add, something to say, make sure you get in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking on. You already know what it is, Dog and Dave. And let's see here. Shouts out to, we give a few shouts out while we're in here. Pete Nice. Who else is that? MSD. Stephen Charles. Delorious. Tony up in here. Patricia, of course. Cookie up in here. Legal Side Hustle. Oh, now. What's happening? Elijah, my young bull up in here. What's happening, baby? We up in this thing. East Coast, West Coast, worldwide. Miss T, F&J, Lanikia, Dewey, everybody up in here. All right, so get your comments in. Let us know what y'all think. And what we're going to discuss first. I guess we can get right into it. The comments made by the players out there that, you know, you got some fan favorites that's not really getting playing times. You got guys who we thought was going to come in and really contribute to the team that hasn't. We really seen them like the minimum of the minimum amount on the offensive or the defensive side of the ball, depending on what position they play. So I guess we can get right into it as Texas, the Trader Texas Truth got his popcorn ready and he's listening in, and everybody else out there. So we'll discuss this right now. We got two players who come out and kind of at least went viral last couple of days by expressing their opinions. You got my boy Cavassier Smoke. Then you got my dog Fast Willie Gaines. We've seen their comments. I guess I could play some of them, you know, for the people out there, as how y'all give me a little time to pull it up since I just thought about it. But while I'm doing that, Dave, tell us what you feel, what you think about what you saw from Willie Gaines and my guy Cavassier Smoke.
Oh man, well,
I guess,
Big Dog again.
Should we go one at a time? You want to go one at a time?
Well, no, I feel like I can.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, no, I got this. But yeah, appreciate you having me on. I'm glad we get to talk about this. But I think first and foremost, I think, man, stuff like this, players and their feelings about certain things or whatnot. I mean, it happens on every team, but when you're losing games, this stuff's going to be magnified. When you're on a losing streak, people are going to feel more inclined to get out there and voice their truth, I guess. So I think at the end of the day, like none of it is ideal when you have players, whether they're talking directly or indirectly, like about the team's decision making or culture. Like none of that is ever ideal. I think that always happens, man, for the most part when you're losing games. But I think again, this is something that yeah, I think we've talked about this over the summer too. You know, is there going to be concern when you got so many transfers coming in? Everybody's expecting to play. I remember I think we talked about Willie Gaines over the summer where we're like, man, like this guy's coming in here saying his goals are 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, something like that. And what's going to happen if you don't reach that? And I think that's been a hard thing for this team to navigate, especially when we're losing. But I do want to say again, I do feel like the program is going in a positive direction. I still feel like we have made some substantial gains from where we've started with. But again, this stuff's going to be magnified when you're losing. But in regards to both of them, I think it's never ideal to be posting on social media how you feel. I do have a little bit more compassion, I guess, or like empathy for Kavasier Smoke, because honestly, speaking from a fan standpoint, I wanted to see him play more. But at the end of the day, I wanted to see us run the ball more, you know? And his last year of eligibility, my heart goes out to him that he didn't get to put really any tape on. I mean, what he had, maybe 3-4 carries throughout the whole season. In regards to Willie Gaines, I don't know. Like, we can dissect, I guess, if you want to get picky on like, okay, who would you rather have in the slot? Jimmy Horn, Caleb Mathis, Tarvarish Dawson, or Willie Gaines? I guess we can talk about that. But at the end of the day, Willie Gaines had his opportunity. He did not cash in on that when he was on the field. And
when
it's
you
just
talk
a
about
bad look. Are you okay burning a bridge like this on social media, man? Like, it's just a bad look. And for him to go about it that way, I understand where he comes from to an extent. I think you can more as a player. But at the end of the day, I don't really like it. And if he felt different about it, he should have caught the balls that were thrown to him.
Oh, so that's what you mean by had the chances. By when he got out there, he had maybe a drop here or there or whatever.
Yeah, multiple drops.
Okay, he had multiple drops. Let me play the other side. Let me play the devil. Let me play Willie's side, and you playing that side, saying basically what you just said. And I can say this: if I'm Willie, if I'm a player, and I go out there and I get a chance or two, and maybe I caught my first one or I caught one here, and then I go out there, I might have missed one here, or I get criticized for not making the catch, bringing it in there. I would say this: well, without pointing any fingers, but didn't this guy maybe miss a pass too? Or maybe didn't this guy miss a block? Or didn't this guy mess up too? Is it just me that not going to get a chance to mess up and play freely?
Yeah.
What is it? Is it because it's me? What is it? Tell me. Because I'm asking these questions too. I come in with a rapport with the quarterback. I came from Jackson State with him. He knows who I am. He knows I could be productive. Hell, I averaged 16 yards per catch last year. I had 5 touchdowns. I'm explosive. You know what I mean? You see what I do at practice. Based off of what he said on his live, he said he see guys do wrong, he go in there and try to do right. He's a team player with everybody, no matter whether they're in front of him or not. Why is it that I'm not getting the same opportunities? So it speaks, or so it seems. Why is it that it seems like if I do go in and I drop a pass, that I'm getting pulled out immediately? What is it from a player perspective? That's going to have me thinking. You know what I'm saying? And I might get in my feelings, and I might go on social media or whatever and voice my feelings, especially after I just seen Kavasier doing it. I feel a way about him too, because like he said, that could have been me in my final year. I got 1 year left. I'm a grown man. I didn't go to school right out. So I'm 23 years old right now with a child. I'm coming in here thinking I'm about to, put up numbers and try to feed my child, whether it's from NIL money or going pro this year. I got this in my head, and then this happens. I know it says you make plans and watch God laugh at you because he'll change those plans up. I'm gonna stay focused. I'm not gonna let this like they say on the movie. I'm not gonna flip out, even though y'all might think this is a flip out. I didn't call nobody's name. I didn't call out Coach Prime like they're saying on these other pages. Willie Gaines called out Coach Prime. I ain't call out Coach Prime. I said me. I said me. I want to do better for myself, and I feel like, everything that's happened, I don't know why, but I'm gonna control what I can by doing what I'm supposed to do on and off the field, and hopefully next year, it works out for the better because I'm coming in like a mad dog. You feel me? Like I felt like I came in this year. So what's the problem? What do you think? Without me rambling too much, what do you think it is? Is it? Tell me more. Get deeper. Tell me some more.
I feel like I've been talking and listening to people talk about this, all day. So I will say, like, there is, like, you don't have to have my opinion with this. I think that's totally valid. Like the idea that Willie Gaines is saying, hey, I'm doing everything right. And then is he implying that people that aren't doing everything right, getting playing time above him? Like, yeah, I would be frustrated in that if that's the case, if that's true, if that's how he sees it. But I think at the end of the day, with his case, I can't speak to it so much with Cavassier. But well, actually, I'll say this. For both wide receivers and running backs, I think that they sold the idea, and I think we all expected this too, that this offense would be the strength of the team, that we would be scoring points, and there would be opportunities for a ton of guys to get theirs. I think like when we go back to our expectations and what we're talking about over the summer, that's what we were expecting. Well, it turns out we ran a pretty vanilla offensive scheme after it was figured out after a couple days, made no adjustments to scheme ourselves out of a bunch of issues. And our offense, it really regressed throughout the course of the year. And guys couldn't get on the field because there's also less plays. Now, we'll say too, again, this is just speculation, but is there something, again, why are these other guys out there on the field? Is it because they're trusted more to handle something? Is Shedeur comfortable with these receivers more than others? I don't know, but at the end of the day, in Willie Gaines' case, I know this is harsh, but at the end of the day, there's a handful of wide receivers on this roster that I would rather have out on the field, and he should have seen the writing on the wall with them giving him number 20.
All right, all right, hold up. You said there are a handful of wide receivers that you would rather have out there before Willie Gaines. And wait. What did you just say at the end?
It's just someone brought this up on Rawhide's show the other day, last night. That they gave him number 20 as a wide receiver. You should have seen the writing on the wall.
Oh man! All right. So I'll say this: we're gonna go down the list real quick. You tell me who you rather have, Willie Gaines, or should we do that? I don't know if we should do it, but we'll do it.
It's okay. We don't got to do it.
We don't have to do. I ain't gonna make you pick, but you said though that there are some guys you'd rather have out there before Willie Gaines. I'm gonna nudge you on that one a little bit. Okay. But what do you think was the reasoning behind giving them number 20 as opposed to because you saw he was clearly upset? You think that was a big deal?
I don't know, Big Dog. I just can't think of. I can't ever think of a college wide receiver wearing the 20s that has just been tearing it up. And again, like I know Jimmy Horn drops some balls. I know that happens. But when you're seen as a better player, when you're brought in to be one of the main points of this offense, there's just a different standard, I feel like. Sometimes there is. Like some guys are going to get more leeway than others. That's just how it works. And that's how I see it for one of these. Or like with Willie Gaines being somebody that was going to have to fight for every single snap of playing time that he got, he cannot afford to be out there for a few snaps and drop 2 balls.
I feel you on that. I feel what you're saying on that. So Only thing I can say is, if I'm Willie Gaines, or I'll say if I'm advising Willie Gaines. I did hear on his live, he had his cousin call in, and his cousin said something like this. His cousin said, man, listen, because for one, let me step back. For one, a guy like Willie coming from where he come from, like he said, Chocolate City, and in the background he come from, he's trying to put on for his city. I understand what he's saying and where he's coming from. And so you kind of put these expectations on yourself. Then you have a child to support. So you kind of put these expectations on yourself. But at the same time, don't let that kind of hinder you and make you forget about the big picture. Like you said, you have another year left. Of course, you don't want to see it go the same way. You don't want to see it go the way Smoke's year went, at least from the outside looking in, right? So what do? You just got to refocus, recalibrate, as they say, and say, I'm going to go beat these guys out for their position. I'm going to go get on the field. I'm going to earn me a spot. But honestly, from my point of view, I thought he could have been out there. And not just
Would you rather have him out there instead of Dawson?
Look, not just for Willie Gaines, for a bunch of guys. I felt like we could have used them in a lot more situations, more diverse situations. For instance, right? I would have had Willie at least returning some kicks or some punts. If he's not going to do that, then I would have had Willie at least doing some things out of the slot, jet sweeps, some of the stuff that wasn't even in the offense. I feel like he could have shined and ultimately helped the team by providing some of these things and putting them in these positions. Just by sitting them on the sideline, I can understand his frustrations with that, and I probably would be in the same damn situation, especially if social media was around back in the day. I told you, I'm the guy that grabbed the microphone from my coach while he was on the sideline and said, put me in a damn game, and walked off like a gangster. And I thought about it, like, damn, I'm crazy. But the coach put me in the game 3 plays later. The point is, sometimes you got to show them that, man, listen, man, I'm ready to play, dog. Give me a chance to play. And then you got to go out there and prove it at the same time. So at the end of the day, man, Willie Gaines said he didn't call nobody name. He was talking about himself. Of course, he was frustrated. He don't want to see the season go the same way. But don't take it out of context and try to blow it up and make it seem like he called out somebody or he's disgruntled. He's a guy that wanted to see the team succeed. He wanted to contribute. And then when you don't get that opportunity, y'all don't understand how bad that feels. You're like, damn. It's not like, everybody's making every play. You know what I mean? Give me another shot too. So that's what I feel, man. I think that overall, though, he'll be fine. He's going to come back next year stronger than ever. I don't think Coach Prime is going to take what he said or Cavassier Smoke said out of, exactly what they meant about it. Even if you have to bring him in for a conversation face-to-face, I don't think he's going to overreact by seeing his guys who are passionate about the game come out and say something.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess Smoke's gone. We'll see what happens with Willie Gaines. But again, like, this happens more when you lose. And we've lost a handful of games this year by 1 score. So, or like single digits. So I get that type of frustration where you feel like you could have been the difference, but you weren't out there. I get it. But this team's already getting like negative, press and media attention because of the losing streak that we're on here to close out the season. To me, it like, I don't care how disgruntled you are, you're putting yourself above the team when you're going out on Instagram Live to do this. I do. This hurts the team. This hurts the team.
I think that it can cause confusion, just by venting that away. But excuse me, everything like Willie did make a point. Willie said everything else out there, what I'm saying? Dog said everything else out there, but at the same time, you got to protect you too, dog. And just by you going out here venting or trying to, I think at the root of it is like you really want to put on for your people. And you got people probably ask you why Willie ain't playing. But then again, you had his cousin call in who made him think about this. Listen, dog, you're doing something that none of us are doing. You're playing the game. You're there while we're watching the game. So don't feel so bad that you're not actually making the plays that you feel like you should be making it. Just know that you're there. And LeVar Ball even said something like this. He said, "Listen, dog, I'm in the game. I'm in the race. You know, you got people on the sideline chirping and chirping, chirping, and chirping. Whether I lose or win, I'm in the race and they're watching."
Yeah.
So same thing Willie Cousin was saying. Listen, man, listen, don't feel bad about us and think that we are down on you because you didn't make the plays you want to make. We are proud of you, dog. And we know your passion. We know what you can do. You'll get that opportunity. Stay focused and don't burn no bridges. You know what I mean? So
you don't consider this a burn bridge, man? When you just take your feelings to social media like that, you don't? Okay.
If you would have
when you go on a 20-minute live and do this,
if you would have went on there and said, if this person, if that person, that man went on there and said, I felt like I should have done this. Everything was you know, I didn't come here to be a practice player. That means I didn't come here to be a practice player. I have more work to do. I have to, you know, that don't mean F somebody else or it's their fault that I didn't do it. You know, I asked the question earlier, devil's advocate, why, if he didn't make a play and then the next person don't make a play, then why don't he get another chance? Or did they feel like they exhausted that chance and then they bring in another guy and the further guy down on the depth chart? So, you know,
I'm curious, Big Dog, what your opinion is on this, because I think we were both listening to the DNVR show a little bit earlier today. And, you know, Jake and RK had some different interpretations of this too. I think I more kind of side with Jake on some of these things, but RK brought up a valid point of just with Cavassier Smoke saying like, hey, you know, we would have been doing a lot better going undefeated or whatever if we weren't playing selfish ball. I think now I do think like, I think it's evident that there are a handful of guys that are frustrated that they didn't get their time on the field this year. And I think that's totally valid. That's what happens when you bring in a lot of transfers. It's something that you got to navigate. You got to keep everybody together. But I mean, if there's one aspect where it's like, I really feel like that probably really shows, has been through the special teams performance this year. That is a unit where you need to do your job, where it is, where you need to be selfish or selfless, and just maintaining your responsibility, allowing others to do their jobs. And we've seen that unit just constantly continue to dig us in holes, making crucial mistakes, allowing points week after week. I think if there's a focus that, I don't know, I think one thing, whether we've communicated it or not, it needs to be communicated that not everybody's going to play on the team next year. This is not recreational league. And if you are being asked to be on special teams, like that is something that you need to take with pride rather than being upset or frustrated that you're not getting on the field for offense or defense at some point. I think we need to approach this from a more, we need guys who are going to buy into their role, even if it's not going to be a star role. I think we had a lot of people that came here and we know because we've talked to so many of them or we've listened to their interviews. Like a lot of people came here wanting to be that guy, and not everybody got to be that guy.
Oh yeah, 100%. A lot of people came wanting to be the guy, having the opportunity. A lot of them had opportunity to go in there and shine, do what you can do, and show whether you could be the guy or not. Some people probably thought they was going to come in and just inherit some spots. Who knows? I don't know, but I will say this. I did think that it was just going to be a lot more of, especially in the first couple games, get it how you live, so to speak. Going with the hot hand. I'm going to try everybody, and whoever's really making them plays, that's who we'll stay with, especially at the wide receiver and running back spot. I thought that would be the case. I thought we had so many guys that it was going to be like 5 or 6 guys have like 20 catches, 400 yards. You know, he got 20 catches, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, all the way down. And probably the top guy will have 50 catches. And then the next guy have 30 something. But I thought it was going to be a lot of receivers getting at least 20 catches on the season. And I think we saw more or less, you know, we had our starters, and is what we're going with. You know what I mean? So overall, like I said, I thought that we could have gotten the ball to Willie Gaines, fast Willie Gaines, as I called him. I heard somebody else call him that the other day. I would think we could have got fast Willie Gaines the ball a lot more, like we did Travaris Dawson in those reverses and stuff like that. That's Willie Gaines all day, or just going deep down the field. Let him run a go route, then bring him out the game, put somebody else in.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
put him in the game like a rocket. Man, listen, man, take off. I don't want you running no hitches, no nothing. Take off and go. You fresh, pew, throw that thing far as you can, Shador, and see what happens. You know, that's just me. I would use that team like weapons. You know, you had a lot of weapons to be used in different ways, and I don't think that we used them up to the potential that we could have throughout this season. Now, speaking on my guy, Smoke, I made a video on him. I can understand his frustration 100%. When he first came in, I thought he would be like the bell cow coming into here and leading the team in carries, or either second in carries. But to be a guy who pretty much didn't touch the field, that baffles me right there. Whether, you know, it was something he did or didn't do, I don't know. But Willie Gaines, like Willie Gaines said, he has a 3.7 GPA, so it's definitely not anything in the classroom with him not being on the field. So I don't know, man. It kind of baffles me on that, especially when you start losing, then you don't play everybody. That's, you know, we'll have to see what Coach Prime says about some of these things after the season, or if we see a lot of coaching shuffles go on, that could tell the story behind the scenes. And
yes,
I
think we're going to get some answers to at least some of these things over the next month. And again, Willie Gaines' situation isn't the only thing that we've talked about, Big Dog. You know, again, like you said, when we're losing, we're trying to figure out why, what is going on. But, you know, all we can do is speculate. Like, what is going on with the rest of the linebacker room to where Trevor Woods needed to be moved to linebacker in the middle of the season? You know, these are different things that we talk about, you know, of just like why certain things are happening that you don't see often. I know there's been a lot of discussion on my end about why certain guys are starting on the offensive line, if there's some of the lightest ones on there, you know, week after week, whatever. We've seen coaching decisions that were like, what is going on here? Again, I love Dylan Edwards, having him on the field, but whoever has been consistently putting him in there for pass protection is doing the team disservice. They're doing Dylan Edwards a disservice. I'm surprised he didn't get injured this year with how many hits he took. We talked so much about Shador, but you know, Dylan was catching some big hits too throughout the year and stayed on the field.
Dylan's first play of the last game, after all week, everybody was talking about Dylan shouldn't be running between the tackles. It was almost like the offensive coordinator said, forget what y'all saying. First play of the game, Dylan up the middle. And I was watching, even shout out to DMVR once again. I went back and watched that first play and their reaction. And their reaction was like everybody's reaction. Like, what the hell? Like, that's crazy, man. So I think a lot of that goes back to the RPO stuff. And just that shotgun handoff stuff, man. I've seen this since I played in college. It's like it has taken over my life and the life of college football to have quarterbacks stand back there in the shotgun, say, ready, say, hut, and look at the defensive end and hand off the ball to the running back or either pull it and throw a pass. That's football nowadays. We're not lining up under the center and saying, we're just going to run it at you, beat me. Say, hut, turn around, hand off to him. You know, we're not even doing the long play actions like Peyton Manning used to do. You know, you show the ball, and the run, suck the linebackers up, bring them up. Damn, I thought we was gonna be doing that all day, not just the RPOs. They know how to handle that now. We got to mix it, make the defense see different things throughout the game. That's how you keep them on their toes, in my opinion, man. So
yeah.
RPO.
Yeah, I just hope we get our answers, Big Dog, you know, and obviously, like I said, man, we're going to dissect all this and whatever, because the margins are thin right now. The margins are so thin for this team. It's easy to bring up, well, hey, maybe we get we get this win if so-and-so plays, or if we call this different player, whatever. I just hope this next year that we have, again, I think this was a learning year for everybody in terms of philosophy, in terms of scheme. There's some things that I feel like we could have done to help ourselves that we didn't. And guys, like for y'all just saying that it's just Coach Prime, Daddy Ball, all this, I don't think it is. I think my interpretation of this is that Coach Prime gives his position coaches and his coordinators the ability to dictate who is on the field. Because if that were the case, again, I think you would have seen some bigger backs back there in pass protection, helping protect his son. I just think that would have happened. To me, that makes the most sense. Hopefully, we'll get some answers here as to why the personnel was the way it was. And hopefully this next year, we'll make some additions, bring some guys in here. That's where things are just going to make, I guess, a little bit more sense. I guess that's all.
Do you think after this year, excuse me once again, do you think after this year, Coach Prime will switch that up? Do you think he will either bring in new offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator or whatever, whoever he brings in or keeps in, do you think he would take more reins over the personnel and the decisions of who actually gets on the field? Do you think he would do that, or do you think he would continue to delegate it and keep it as a decision made by those position coaches?
I don't know.
And what do y'all think in the chats? Do you think think Coach Prime should take over the personnel decisions overall of the team? Like, have the position coaches present to him maybe before the game, say, hey, these are my starting wide receivers. What do you think? Well, dog, I know you got him at the slot, but we got to use this guy at the slot. He's the dog, and he played for me last year. Something like that. Should he do that, or should it just all be left up to the position coaches?
I think I'd like to see more of that. Again, like, it's hard for me to judge because I don't know, I guess, what amount of conversation has been had. But when I just think about it, just the idea, okay, Coach Prime knows football. He's been around the game his whole life. Like, he understands how this works. I don't know. It's hard for me to say, but I would like to see him have a more direct hand in what's going on. I think on the field. I know I don't think we'll ever expect him to call plays or anything like that. I know he does determine, how we attack certain situations on the field or whatnot. But I don't know. I think it's very clear with what happened this year is that the position coaches were given, the freedom to decide who goes on the field. And I'm not in practice, so I can't. I have no reason.
From what I've seen, is most cases is the position coaches will pick, based off of what goes on in practice. Yeah, the offense, the head coach will, kind of take a look at that, but ultimately, it's the position coach who makes that decision. So on. So moving forward, if we saying that it's the position coaches making the decisions, I think we heard, especially coming off of how late Coach Prime came into the season. He said he's going to leave a lot of recruiting as far as picking the guys up to the position coaches during the recruiting last year. So saw Coach O'Boyle go back into his bag, and he pulled out guys from Kent State that he used to coach, and then guys from Mid-America that, he had connections with. And then you saw Coach Corey Phillips and the recruiting staff do their thing and bring in some guys, like David Connor from Florida and so on, maybe might be out of the reach of Coach O'Boyle, so to speak. Let's say, just based off of that, how are we going to expand that reach, especially with the offensive line and defensive line, where we think we might need those 7 to 8 dogs? Because I was going to ask you this question too. First, how do we expand that? And then how many players do you think we are away? I've heard some people say we're 7 to 8 players away, like Coach Prime say, something more or less. What do you feel like also? How do we expand the reach for the recruiting, and how many players are we away?
We're a handful of players away. I think I might have been exaggerating a little bit in my post game on Friday, but I think I think I said on Friday, I'm like, we're 40 dogs away from competing for a conference championship. But we are definitely more than 7 or 8. And I think we need a lot of guys that are going to come in here and buy into their role, no matter where it shakes out in regards to playing time. We need people that are going to be comfortable in their role, whether that's special teams, a reserve, a backup. Again, we've seen substitution issues. We've seen so many mental errors, man. Like, this is not a focused team. We need guys that are going to come in here and be focused. And a lot of that is going to have to be on the offensive line. Obviously, losing Talon Chandler to Mizzou is something that I think we all expected for the last few weeks. I think we can all expect Bill O'Boyle to be going to coach somewhere else here soon, along with Sean Lewis. And when your biggest connection to the university is that position coach, like, if he's leaving, you're most likely going to have a hard time retaining him to stay. And that's what happened with Town. He's going to a top 10 program right now in the country. Hats off to him. Things change. But if we need to lose a really good interior line recruit like Talon, in order to get a better offensive line coach in here, I'm totally happy with that, because we need a guy who's going to be able to coach up this talent, not make excuses for why they're not good. That's just how I feel about it, big dog. I think as this year has continued on, I've been incredibly disappointed with the job Bill O'Boyle did. Yes, we didn't have elite offensive linemen on this on the line this year. Was it 130th or whatever ranked bad? No. You have to be doing something wrong to get the performance. I don't think the coaches have done well at all, including Bill O'Boyle. Again, main responsibility on him for getting these guys mentally ready. It is just clear that they were not mentally ready for the majority of the season. We need a coach that can come in here, big dog, and take guys that are 3 stars, that are 0 stars, that are transfers in here, and elevate their game, that can coach them, that can improve their game. Yes, has our defense, that's not elite either, but I think we've seen incremental improvement throughout the year for the most part. Sal Sinceri and Nick Williams aren't working with elite line talent. We're a little light up front, and we've seen ourselves become better in play. I think overall put out better performances here in the second half of the season compared to what we did earlier in the first half. And I would like to see that kind of coaching done on the offensive line. There's not anybody on this offensive line that I say improved this year. And when there's that much of a theme, it goes on coaching. So before we talk about securing Jordan Seaton or securing one of these other offensive linemen to flip, we need to make sure that we have a coach in here who has a track record of developing talent. And yeah, we don't have that right now.
Tell them, Dave. Hey. Yeah, y'all put some fire in the chat one time. Dave just went off on y'all. Dave just let it be known without holding back. Hey, man, listen, bring in somebody here that's going to develop the guys and make them better. Not just, we got to bring in 5-star guys to win. Bring in somebody who can develop the guys that we have is what Dave was saying. I like Coach O'Boyle, but, I'm not too sure. Put it like this. I think Coach Prime can develop a coaching staff that mirrors kind of like Nick Williams or a Sal Sinceri's leadership or either wisdom, right? And they can work together and mesh together, right? You bring in that fire like Coach Nick Williams, former players and stuff who has a reach, who can recruit. Then you bring in guys who they would learn from also, like Coach Sal. They might be on the spotlight end of their career, but they're willing to teach and possibly even be analysts. I think that'll be a good mesh for Coach Prime and his staff. But you have to bring in guys who can expand their reach for recruiting. I know Dave got to get out of here real soon. I think it'll be 45 after the hour. I'll keep it on to finish up. But go ahead, Dave. Even more. You got the fires going in the comments right now. As we said, I told you, man.
I want to hit on this, big dog. Amari Ward, a guy who spent last year redshirting at Jackson State, offensive lineman, 0-star recruited guy out of high school, but 6'4", 310 pounds last year. He's been in the portal this whole calendar year. It's looking pretty wrapped up that he's going to be making an official commitment to transfer over to the Buffs. That's great. That's great that Amari Ward's coming here. Now, if you guys are expecting anybody to just come in here and save this line, no. But we need a coach that can come in here, work with somebody who has that size, has that strength to play, then to teach them and develop them into a technician, into somebody who studies and masters their game. We need somebody that is capable of developing somebody like Amari Ward to be an eventual starter on this line in 2-3 years. That's the kind of coach that we need.
Right. Is there somebody you have in mind that could be the possible new offensive coordinator, since you said Coach Sean Lewis is going to be gone? Do you retain Pat Shermer? Do you bring in a guy like Coach Kelly, offer him? What do you do? Byron Leftwich? What do you do there? What do you do on the offensive line? I'll tell you real quick before Dave goes. Yeah. I'm going to say this. I'm going to bring in a guy with some, in my opinion, being out there on the West Coast based off location, all right, Midwest, I think just off of location, you're not going to get every player you want from the South in that area down there, which is highly recruited. I think you got to switch your focus, keep it there in some, but take some resources and go to the West Coast where it's closer to where, you know, these guys are more likely to come to Colorado with their families, so to speak. And you now bring in some guys with some culture, and I think you'll naturally bring in guys who we've been getting beat by this whole season on the offensive line. That is Polynesian players. I guess I'm going to be the Polynesian Samoan Tongan player advocate. If I'm seeing us getting beat by them, I'm going to go get some. You know what I'm saying? If I see these last names that I can't pronounce, and I'm wondering how we smashed, you know, obviously they can't pronounce it. We don't want to recruit them. Go recruit these guys, man. Go to American Samoa, go to Tonga, go to Hawaii, go to West Coast, California, all up and down that thing, and find you some big players who are more likely to come over here and supplement the guys that you bring in from the South that you're able to pick and choose from down there. Now you got a ball club instead of just trying to go here. Man, get you some of these guys over here too. And they are ready to be developed. You feel me? But it starts with getting, I think, a coach that has that reach there, or at least an assistant coach that has that reach. And that's why you see USC so successful with their coaching. USC, Washington State, Arizona State, all of them have Polynesian coaches on their coaching staff. I think that's what we need to do, and I guess I'm the advocate for it.
Oh, man. Let's make that happen, big dog. We need that. You know, someone that I've brought up, you know, that has recruited the West Coast and Hawaii, co-offensive coordinator of the Oregon Ducks, Junior Adams. I like that. I like that. He's been at Washington. He's been at Oregon. He does have previous play calling experience, though he hasn't called plays at Oregon right now. Can recruit wide receivers as well. I like that, but I think whoever we got in here, who we bring in here, they need to be a big time recruiter. I'm all for Byron Leftwich. Y'all have sold me on that idea.
Like Big B.
Bringing some more pro style in here. But again, the Brady connection, I think they would share, you know, him and Shador would share the same philosophy. But, you know, we need to know that Byron Leftwich is committed to being on the recruiting trail, you know. And if he is, man, I'm all for it. If he sees his future in college football, let's do this thing. That's the thing.
A lot of people don't realize, to be a coach also, not just X's and O's, you have to be a good recruiter. Now you might be, you know, might have a little crutch because Coach Prime is there and he's the ultimate recruiter, but you still have to be a good recruiter. I hate addressing comments that are not smart. For one, we didn't play one snow game this year. For two, look at Utah. Don't they have a lot of snow up there? And they have probably the most Polynesians on their team. So that
ain't no thing. It's cold up in Seattle too. So
and it's got plenty of Polynesians in Alaska. It's plenty of snow in Alaska, isn't it? All right, then I rest my case. All right. They have to keep Shermer at least as a consultant.
I think so.
Yeah, I think he stays around. No, the cold is not too much. Cookie, come on, Cookie.
Nah, the weather out here is great.
It's beautiful out there. The weather outside is all right. So it's getting ready to be, what are we like 40 something days from the new year. Counting it down. 2024 coming along. We got Buff Awards coming. Dave and I will be going back over the Buff Awards. Whether we should give them out this year, a lot of people saying no. We're going to give them out, and we're going to do that anyway. Shout out to our guys for their valiant effort that they put on this year and everything that went down. Dave, before you get out of here, go ahead and I'll give your last thoughts, goodbyes. Let them know where they can find you at if they're listening on my channel or not.
Well, of course, Big Dog, I always appreciate you having me on. David Talks Buffs, Twitter, YouTube. I think I might open up a Facebook account here in a bit. But yeah, give me a like, give me a sub. Let me know your thoughts in on the comments. But at the end of the day, guys, this stuff happens when your team's losing, man. At the end of the day, this team has right now a 3-game improvement. Was I expecting more? Sure. But the fact is that for the majority of these games, we've been very competitive. This has been a team that outside of 2 games, I've really enjoyed watching. We're going in the right direction. There's bumps along the way. We're going to figure this out. Again, when you flip over an entire program, the entire coaching staff and the entire roster essentially in one offseason, there's going to be guys that just don't fit. The culture is going to continue to get better. You're going to continue to have guys brought in here with the right buy-in. That's going to improve the more opportunities we have to recruit. So I'm very bullish on this recruiting cycle. We don't have a lot of commits right now, but I think that this is going to be a solid class. We're just going to have to see. But don't be panicking, y'all. I know we can debate about all this, but do not be panicking. Everything right now is still going in the right direction. That's how I feel about it.
Exactly. Appreciate my dog Dave for coming through once again. Find him on David Talks Buffs, Twitter and YouTube right now. Everything else will be coming in the future. But like I said, oh man, my voice is going out now. Make sure y'all follow him, like, subscribe, and all the other good stuff. He's going to get up out of here. I'll keep the show going and answer
Thanks,
some
Big Dog.
that's coming through. Appreciate you, Dave.
See y'all.
We'll see you later on this week. All right. So what I'll do is I'll keep this thing going and get to some comments. Can you dig it? Shouts out to the super chat that just came through from FPSD. Said, if earning the players' numbers was as tough as Coach Prime said, how did Kermoney get number 1? Maybe nobody wanted number 1. Who knows? Taylor J, what's happening with you? Oh, now shout out to my girl Taylor J. You need to come onto the show. Should I send you a link or something so you can come on and say something? You good to go right now? Let me know if you're good to go. I'll send you a link to come on to the show and do your thing. Also, maybe Taylor can state her case from Colorado and let us know some ins and outs of things that's going on there. But in the meantime, though, like I said, man, we're not worried about those comments that went off right now because no name was called, and it was just comments stating how we feel, man, or how he felt, Cavassier Smoke and Willie Gaines. So, Chico, if Prime left, what would you do with your T-shirt you're wearing? First of all, this is a collar shirt, Coach Kev, and that's none of your blood-clot business. What I'm going to do with mine. What you do with yours? What you going to do with your Superman underwear if Superman don't come on? You know what I'm saying? Ask me what I'm going to do with my stuff. Y'all know that's just Coach Kev trying to what you call it, troll right now. Y'all forgot about what? Let me see. Y'all forgot about the first game, spring game, snow flurries. Yeah, we talking about in the season though. The snow flurries was in the spring. You feel me? That was the only snow game we had. If you talk about people scared of the snow, don't worry about it. What's happening, everybody? Tab said. I guess I got to get my shots out. Get my shout outs. At the airport, but I'm on ASAP next time, Taylor J said. What up, Taylor J? Where you going? You always flying out somewhere. Holla at your dog. Jermaine Young. Oh, now. Let me see here. Coach Kev. Yeah, everybody laughing at Coach Kev. He get him a name on here in the comments. Buffs will be fine. Willie Gaines is going to get the same fate as Mark Pope. Who's Mark? Mark Pope played, he tried to come over there with Jackson State, didn't he, from Miami? Nah, dog. Willie Gaines is going to be fine. He's going to put on next year. He's going to have his opportunities, and he's going to ball out once he catch the ball. Once he get the ball in his hand, should I say that? Let me see here. Prime isn't leaving. Hypothetically, Coach Prime would be worth more after he gets the Buffs to a bowl game. Right. Jimmy home and was scared to return the ball. Come on, I'm gonna stop highlighting some of these. Y'all give me the super chats and I'll highlight those super chats, but some of these silly comments, maybe I won't. Spraying y'all. Oh, now whether it's not the hindrance about Boulder, it's the NIL money. Well, I don't think a lot of the guys who getting passed over out here, whether it's on the West Coast or here in Hawaii or in the islands of Samoa or Tonga, that they're worried about NIL money. They're coming for the opportunity and to play ball and to get in education. Is what I'm thinking. So 50 after the hour right now. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Let me see here. Pope had team chemistry issues. The team voted him off. Man, everybody love Willie Gaines. Anybody gonna vote Willie Gaines off? We ain't worried about that. Hi, Mac. Definitely looking forward to the next year, bro. I like Weaver returning kicks. I like Weaver returning kicks too, but I think Willie could have been back there. All right, so if Weaver gonna return this kick, right, then put him a sub in for the first couple plays. That's how I would do it. That's how I get everybody involved, and that's how none of this comes about. Nobody would be complaining about playing time on my team. That's just my situation. How Chico handles it. Chico only coached. I never been a head coach like Coach Prime on a college level. So I'm speaking from my experience, right? I would have different packages for different players, and I know that after a player returns a kick, he's not going to have the same energy level on that first play of offense that he would had he wouldn't return that kick. All right. So boom, I'm going to have him every time. Hey man, you return a kick, you don't go out for the first play of offense or maybe even the second play of offense. Why? Because it might be a run anyway. And two, we can have a guy with fresh legs out there instead of you, just in case we do want to pass and go downfield. Don't that make sense? That's how I substitute and sub and keep my guys fresh, whether I'm the position coach or whatever, because the position coach usually have his guys right next to him and he's sending his guys in and he's bringing his guys out. Head coach not worried about that right then and there. Position coaches are paid for that, dog. So, okay, Willie, hey, if we forget this, I already told you, we went over this in the meeting room. I'm not even saying it on the sideline because we went over it in the meeting room. Anytime Weaver returns a kick, you come out to the sideline, get your water. Who's the next guy up? Stand up. It's me. All right, go ahead. Go. Get ready to go in. As soon as you see him, I shouldn't even be looking around for you because we just went over this in the meeting rooms. All right. So that's how you solve those simple problems that I wouldn't be having at all on the sideline. You understand? I got my guys right next to me. They know to follow. If I'm walking up and down the sideline, man, they're gonna be following up behind me like little baby ducks follow their mother. You know what I'm saying? I'm going up and down the sideline. They coming with me because they know when I see somebody that needs subbing, all I'm gonna do is look to my left or my right, and I'm gonna grab the person, and he gonna go in. Matter of fact, you should already know your substitution rotations, so I shouldn't even have to sub you in. That's the big dog rant for the night. For my team, I appreciate the super chat. For my team, that's how I'm subbing. And it's going to be easy going. I would never have a substitution issue. I would never have my guys feeling like they're not involved in the game because they are involved in the game. Because at any moment, you know that you can go in. At any moment, we've already discussed that as soon as they run a deep route, now one of my wide receivers, we're not waiting for no wide receiver to jog back from 30, 40 yards down the field and then line back up. What? That's for a team that don't have any depth at the position. Anytime you run a post route and you don't get the ball, you might as well just jog off to the nearest sideline because I got a guy coming in right now. And we're not going to fall off that much. You feel me? That's how Willie Gaines would never, ever have gone on a rant like this because naturally he would have been worked into my rotation. Not just him, but from my starters to at least my twos, they know that they can go get in the game at any moment right now. So they following me on the sideline. Y'all know soon as even when the play come in, hey, we got all goals on this play. Shit. Because my guys on the sideline are involved in the game, they know what the play call is. They already know that the wide receivers are about to run a go route. So they strapped up, ready to go. whistle blows. As soon as they run that go route, I'm running right in the game. And now that's a tempo offense. Now we're running fast. What are we doing here? We waiting on wide receivers to run back, and now they're running routes and not full speed. Well, they're supposed to be in shape. Well, you're going to be in shape enough to run to the sideline while I sub in another guy who's not that much of a fall off from you, right? Come on, dog. We talking chess, not checkers. Actually, with substitution, we talking checkers, not chess. Simple, man. KMS said you went last as a coach. Well, hey, man, thank you for your comment. I just happened to get paid as a coach and a player before in my life. Have you? All right, we'll leave it at that. We need an OC that calls plays and schemes like Chip Kelly. I like Chip Kelly and his offensive mind. He might not be the best leader or as a head coach or whatever, but he's definitely an offensive mind that could benefit, I think, us. CU was one of the best in the nation in passing yardage with pass protection issues. Imagine if they fixed that. Period. Exactly. Imagine if they fixed the issues that they have. You would be fired the first day, G-Ron said. I appreciate it. I bet you I can get hired. Can you ask yourself that while you sit here making comments to get noticed? But shouts out to G-Ron making a comment. Who else wanted to get noticed for making these comments towards me? KMS 929, he wanted to get noticed. Shout out to you. I'm gonna make y'all start paying for these silly comments soon. Sap has to finish school before he can come to see you. Exactly, Patricia. You're exactly right. I think he's in the process of doing that right now. Trader Texas Truth said, I would say you preaching, but we got a YouTube buffs preacher already. Wow, Tremaine Young. Mr. Hillsman, because how can you truly evaluate good coaching with bad talent? It's about loyalty with your staff, bruh? That's if he felt like he brought in the best staff, whether it was at the time or period. If he felt like he brought in the best staff at the time, then maybe some of those guys will be leaving after this year. But if he felt like he brought in the best staff he could bring in, and there's no additions he could add to this to enhance it, then those staff members will stay there on Coach Prime's staff. And what are you going to do about resting the defense running plays at that pace? How do I sub the defense at that pace? If you know the rules, then you know that if the offense sub, then you can sub. I'm on point. For one, I'm on point with my substitutions. I know from meeting in the meeting room and game planning that on first down, they like to run the ball 60% of the time, right? I got to run defense. I got to run package. I got to run defending defensive line. You guys are in on first down. Y'all know as soon as that first down is up, y'all jog off the field. Here come my two pass rushers and my other combination of defensive linemen. That's how I'm rotating, dog. Never am I leave defense for sure. I'm making sure my guys are fresh. Never, like I saw a linebacker chase after a running back last game, and he took about 4 steps, and you could tell he was just too tired to keep up. He shouldn't have never been in that position to look bad on film like that. Sub him out. Put him in for situational football. He's a good run defender. That's it. All right, well, he only plays first and second down then. What the hell he in on third down for? He can't pass. He ain't cover nothing. In practice, in spring, in fall, and walkthrough, he's not a good pass defender. Take him out then. Who's my guy who excels at pass defense? Who understands the concept of dropping and getting deep on cover 2? It has to be one who's better than the other. Put him in then when you know you're calling that play. Coach Kev wants some props. I ain't gonna give them to him right now. I might come back to him. I got to get some comments that mean something. Are we still playoff eligible? Iski. Does anyone know how to make football adjustments at CU? KMS said, no, I haven't, but you also said you haven't either. I haven't coached on Coach Prime's level. You got to listen attentively. You got to listen with the 2 ears you have. Now, you worry about trying to have Twitter fingers. Listen with the 2 ears that God gave you, all right? Listening is important, and comprehension is key, okay? So you have to listen very well. I said I didn't coach on Coach Prime's level as being a head coach, which I very well could have been and very qualified to be had I just put in the work to do it. Just continue coaching. What are you talking about? But yes, I was a wide receivers coach on the college level. I also played and started on the college level and got paid to play after college. So I might have a unique perspective that some people may not have to speak on these things based off that experience, sir. Thank you for your comment. God bless you. And good night. Go have a Coke and a smile and sit down. Now, next time you listen to me, put your hands on your knees and participate. Listen attentively. Okay? Do you guys think Willie Gaines or Willie Rants could be also of no playtime, no opportunity to an NIL deal, have an offer to grease his pockets? Just a thought. I think for one, in my opinion, I don't think you have to make plays to have an NIL deal. We've seen that. Two, to answer your question, his rant could also be, it's because of no playing time. And I feel like he felt like had he had some playing time, he could have made those plays, could have gotten those NIL opportunities, and could have lined his pockets, which in turn could have taken care of his family situation back home, which y'all know nothing about. You know, mom could be in a situation. My dog had surgery on his mouth earlier this year. Willie also has a young daughter that he needs to take care of, which a lot of people do. But that's not making an excuse for the rant. But I am saying that I could feel where he's coming from and pressure being on a 23-year-old. And what do we have to vent and let out our frustration nowadays? Is social media. You know, can't get too mad about him going to social media and letting that loose. Glad he didn't, in my opinion, burn bridges by calling names or trying to gain clout off of calling out somebody and saying, hey, he is this or he is that and da, 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 da. I don't think so. I think he said he is the reason for whatever, and he's gonna be the reason for him making everything right also. So a couple more comments. Here we go. You sub, the defense gets to sub as well. No tempo allowed at that point. Exactly, Trey Law. That's what I'm saying. So I'm on point if I'm a coach on the sideline by saying every time they sub, I get a sub too. And I'm on that. I'm not just going to let them sub and I don't make no adjustments. What? I'm on that. A lot fewer sacks than this year. Oh, my gosh. Fraudulent. Louis Luggage are terrible O-line coaches. Let me know in the comments. I did OL and easy to block for run versus pass because time and technique. Exactly. That's any and many. I think Manny, I saw you make a comment earlier saying get up off your Samoans on another page. But yes, for offensive linemen, most you would say 9 out of 10 would probably say, hey, I would rather run block than pass block. Run blocking is easier. Nothing better than moving another man against his will. I've only had a couple of offensive linemen tell me they would rather pass block, and that was Big David Connor. Too bad he was out this year. It would have been right up his alley. Your response does not align with your question. Oh my, these comments killing, ain't it, J. Will? I welcome them. I welcome them. Then you have 12 men on the field constantly. Not me, because I'm subbing correctly. Anybody who's confused that substitution, that's why they have 12 men on the field. If you're not going over that constantly in practice, in walkthroughs, and in meetings, that's how you have substitution problems. If you're not making sure your guys are following you and informed and in tuned into the game, that's how you have substitution problems. If you have to turn around and look for people and they sitting over there with their helmet off, that's how you have substitution problems. That's why I said to fix all of that, my guys will be right beside me, chin strapped up, ready to go. When I do this, you better be ready to go. I better not say, you ready to go? Oh, hold on, coach. Ain't no hold on. You might not play again. Now, that'll keep you on the sideline, not being available when I call for you. That will keep you on the sideline. You better believe that. Probably before dropping the pass. Probably before getting out there playing hard and making a mistake. You being on the sideline, not being ready. What? Ask anybody who ever played football. Ask anybody who ever played football. Coach turn and look for you. You're not ready to go. You're supposed to be strapped up and ready to go. Soon as he look at me and breathe hard, I'm gone. Pew! No, Chico, I wasn't telling you to go in. Well, shit, I got me a play in. I got me a play in. I thought you was going to tell me to go in. I went and called out the first person I saw. You understand me? You got to be ready, man. You stay ready. You ain't got to get ready. Been in those situations too many times before. Not going to look to the sideline, call for somebody. He's not going to get ready. He's not going to be ready. I tell him to go in. I'll stop him from going in before I let him go in if he's not ready to go. That's how you get on the sideline. Now, Willie, Smoke, if y'all have done one of those things, then I can see why you might not have played more. Before anything else, probably. If I call on you and you're not ready, shit, you don't want to play. That's telling me you don't want to play more than anything. When you're not engaged on the sideline, come on, man. It was over with next practice if that happened. It was over with. You ain't even I think Prime brought in those coordinators to satisfy the powers that be. He should have brought in some brothers to coordinate the offense and defense. I wonder athletic linemen can pass block better than them big earth movers. Usually athletic linemen should be able to pass block better than just the big, strong guys with slow feet. I think Prime brought in, hold up. Why isn't substitution practice? This high school stuff. Yes, substitutions usually are practice. I'm sure they went over it some, but I don't know how much it was emphasized. It probably should have been emphasized a lot more as the season went on. I'm not sure. I wasn't there. But I'm telling you what I would have done or I think could have helped, and that is making sure you go put it like this. If I'm the special teams coach or if we're talking about substitution, if I'm the position coach, that's on them. To substitute your guys in an efficient way without having any problems, that's on y'all. I like Big B Leftwich. Offense Tom Brady won a Super Bowl with features of fullback and tight end and incorporate play action passes. Exactly. Keeping the defense guessing. That's what you have to do, man. Radio Pastor says, say less. I appreciate you. I feel the same way, Mac E&T. We should have talked to his coaches before the last game. And offenses love to run block because they get the fire off the ball. Exactly. Attack. You'd rather attack or have someone attack you. I'd rather attack. That's anybody. So, yeah, all the comments coming in. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm 7 minutes late. But I think that you guys should get in the comments. Let me know what you think because I'm going to get on these things. Big Dog, why you gather that man like that? Ray Banks. They know what comes with ranting on the internet, right? Coach Prime getting ready for the new year with the kids coming in. Cookie. The hater comments are wild, aren't they, though? Let them come in, though. Let them wait. I'm talking to my son. All right, baby. Y'all know what we about to do now, man. Y'all run them likes up if you haven't already. Hit the like button, hit the join button. Let me know where you're checking in from, how you checking in, what you're doing, what you're fake caring about. This is the biggest dog of them all, Chico to the C, and the place to be. The B-I-W, the D-O-W. You already know what it is, man. Let's go. Imagine a scheme with motioning Dylan and Willie in slots. My gosh, they want to go in motion the other way. The play goes the other way. You don't know who to follow. That's the type of offense I thought we was coming with. You feel me? Shit. At least this last game could be some misdirection stuff, and we can step up some things and do something different. You feel me? Injury report on Shador. Shador will be fine. Coach Prime said he's hurt, but of course, if he's able to play, he will play. He's not built that way to not play. I agree. Willie kept saying he wanted to feed his child, right? And you do that by making plays, big dog. What we need to do though, if y'all want to support Willie Gaines or any other player, man, y'all go to their NIL, go to their Instagram page, click on their NIL website, click on their merch, and buy some merch. At least it'll help out a little bit. You feel me? And Chico thought I was trolling him. Damn, Coach Kev. I'm gonna read your other comment, Coach Kev, just for you, dog. Let me read your other comment. A hot dog and a Coke. You gotta have a Coke and a smile and sit down. All right. Mr. Weaver, Mr. Michael Weaver looked good returning kicks, though. Yeah. Big Dog Chico, you definitely head coach material. Stank mouth, I appreciate you. Tell the big dog. Take care of Dave. the more Kennedy looked good Friday. He did. I called that out too in the game. Flea, Hart, Mathis, really head coaches. I was agreeing with you as in, why not give them reps, Coach Kev? Best man, dog. You are referring to resource utilization and maximization. Exactly, Radio Paxter. You feel what I'm saying? That's the technical terms for what I'm saying right there. Resource utilization and maximization. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. That's what I'm on. I just wish Colorado would have done more razzle dazzle plays, right? With all that 4-3 speed, right? We kept doing the same thing. We knew how to defend that. I could defend that. It's too easy. Too easy. Run them likes up. I like your substitution thinking for sure. I think I got to the bottom of the comments. We'll go back down one more time. Special teams give up that TD. Smoke was in. I'm not sure. Same way people were speculating with. Okay. But yeah, that's what we're doing, man. Prime finna run the ball 25 times. Then post game say he knew he could. You think y'all can win the Utah game, or you gonna lie and say yeah? I think every game we line up and play, we can win. What are you talking about? What kind of mindset you have, dog? Come on, Skip Bayless Jr. How you gonna call yourself Junior, man? Nah, I appreciate y'all checking in for real though, man. If I said something to you, dog, it's all love. Either way it goes, it's all love. Don't take it personally. I definitely don't take it personally. It's all love. You checking up in this thing. If you don't know, then you're learning. You feel me? Either you know, you don't know, or you just don't show or don't care about what's going on in the hood. You feel me? It's the B.I.W. the Deal with Dub. I'm about to say this has been another rendition of the Dog and Dave show. Check us out each and every week. We might come back twice a week now. Mondays and Thursdays, or somewhere around that, Mondays and Wednesdays maybe. But myself and my dog Dave will be on this thing, doing it live and in effect, back like vertebrae. Utah got smoked by the team that beat CU last second, any given Saturday. Exactly, man. Kimberly Taylor, now, summer 94. What's happening with you? Why does Prime say he don't focus on NIL, but rather NFL? NFL, but it sounds okay. Because he's not selling that. If y'all come in here and y'all can get NIL money, that's on y'all. But I'm not going to promise y'all that. You feel me? Oh, we got the Buff Awards. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the Buff Awards when you get a chance. Go check out the videos. Anybody on here, if y'all check out my videos, I appreciate it. I'm giving away $100. I'm giving away $100 to somebody who's watching my videos. I'm just going to pick a random person who made some comments on the videos, and it's going down just like that. In the words of Wallow and Gilly, right. Peace in the Middle East. Appreciate that. I'm up and about the same. Yeah. Oh, we got another super chat came in. I missed that. Okay. Much love. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night. Iski.